Hello. How are you? Let me see if I'm live already on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. How's your weekend? If you're in Malaysia, then we have this is our, I don't know, like third or fourth continuous long weekend we have in our country. It's amazing. Everybody's enjoying their life. All right. Okay, now looks like I'm live. Okay, now welcome back. This is Jason. If this is the first time you see me, I'm a Meta Ads and Digital Marketing Consultant from Malaysia. What I do is I work with brands to elevate their meta advertising and digital marketing with tailored strategy for your business. My philosophy is actually very simple. I'm an advertising first person because I believe it actually gives us the fastest result. Immediately you put in money, you're going to get something out of it, instead of, SEO and all that. I'm not saying that SEO is no good. I was exposed to SEO during my early age when I was navigating to find the best positioning for myself as a digital marketer. But eventually I started with advertising because this is the most direct, of course, I'm not saying that it is one of the most direct and straightforward way that we can enter the market and start getting result out of it right away. But I always like to emphasize to my client that advertising itself doesn't drive, miracle. It actually takes the entire digital marketing strategy to make the whole thing work. Like, for example, a lot of lead gen businesses, when they run lead gen campaign, right, they may not be able to get good result out of it. And a lot of them will blame the advertising. But in most of the cases, the advertising only plays the role of bringing the people who are interested in what you offer into your universe. But what are the factors that convert these people into a lead and essentially a customer or a client? Takes a lot of things. Like, for example, what is your social media presence planning? If you're driving people, if you're running ads with a blank page, how do you expect people to trust you? Of course, you will have very low conversion rate because the moment people navigate to your Facebook page or Instagram account, they see empty blank page. I mean, how would you believe a person with totally nothing to prove themselves like this? And of course, aside from that, what are the other things that you do on the landing page, which could be a very important factor on whether people believe in you or not after reading your page and all that. So all these other things like your landing page, your social media presence, the customer journey that you build when a person search for you, which is your searchability. When you're running ads, especially, a lot of people thought that when I run ads on Facebook or Instagram, I'm going to get result in right away. But you have to understand, consumers nowadays are really smart. They don't buy what they see right away. They will navigate, they will find out, they will ChatGPT you, they will Google about you. But if you are non-existent, how do you expect these people to convert? So you have to take care of a lot more aspects now when you're running ads on Meta. So that's why I really believe that this is really a huge opportunity that we can do in terms of navigating and making your whole digital marketing funnel works a lot better when you're running ads. So that's what I work with my clients. Aside from optimizing their Meta ads, we take care of all these other aspects as well. So yeah, anyway, so what I do here is I go live every Sunday night to answer questions that I receive, whether from my conversation with my clients, whether the questions that I receive on my YouTube channel. So yes, I do maintain a YouTube channel. If this is the first time you see me, just in case you're not sure, I would like to invite you to join my YouTube channel because I posted over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel, mainly answering questions that I receive from my community. So if you have any Meta ads and digital marketing related questions, I would first recommend that you go to my YouTube channel and search for it. I have answered more than 1,000 questions. Chances are I probably have covered something similar to what you're facing right now. So if you can find an answer, great. Immediately move on to do whatever you need to do. But if you cannot find an answer, do not worry. All you need to do is post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to answer questions live on the following Sunday. So you can either join me live to watch it or you can actually watch the replay. anything works. All right. Now, I just want to quickly bring it in. Just in case, of course, answering questions like this may have its limitations. Like, for example, if you want me to look at your Meta Ads campaign to analyze what's going on, what's working or what's not working in your Meta Ads campaign, I won't be able to do this right here because we need to look into your Meta Ads Manager. We need to navigate the data and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier if we can work together on one-on-one. So if you just, in case you need a one-off one-on-one Meta Ad support or digital marketing support, all you need to do is you can scan this QR code and then you'll be able to just book a 30-minute Zoom call and pay for it right away. And with that, we are able to spend 30 minutes or 60 minutes one-on-one to discuss whatever challenges that you're facing. So yeah, it's actually the easiest way. No string attached, very straightforward. Just you and I over a Zoom call. Make sure you have the native Zoom app installed in your computer so that we can do the screen sharing and stuff. So yeah, that's how I work with a lot of clients. I've worked with, over 7,000 Meta advertisers from over 50 countries. And I really enjoy this way of working together with different Meta advertisers from different parts of the world. Because yeah, it makes me learn so much more as compared to when I was running ads for my clients in Malaysia itself. So yeah, great learning. And yeah, I definitely wish to be part of your journey in making your digital marketing a success. All right. So yeah, I'm just going to dive into the first question. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're watching this live or even if you're watching the replay, if you have any questions, feel free to pop the question as a comment. And I'm going to circle back after I answer all these questions. And I'm going to answer your question. Even though if you post this at the replay, at the recording, no worries. I'm going to answer questions on the following Sunday. Okay, now let's go straight to this one. Subith. So your question is, Facebook page is permanently restricted from advertising, but its health is good. So eventually you had to deactivate the page as it's just sitting there doing nothing. How to resume advertising? Also, please suggest if you link personal profile to Instagram account through account sender, which is business, is recommended or not in absence of any Facebook page. Now, well, first thing first, I think I just want to quickly go through that, linking your personal profile to Instagram account. That's for sure, like no harm doing that because that allows you to manage your account in a more seamless way, meaning these two are connected. So you can either get notification or something like that from one to another to log in. So yeah, those are the mechanisms, but I wouldn't say there are really a lot of cons in that, but do that. But the next question here is about how to resume advertising. So when your Facebook page is permanently restricted, you do not need to bother about the old page anymore. I would say if you want to start advertising, we just need to make sure first thing first, your personal profile is intact. So first, create a new Facebook page. That's the easiest way to do. Don't need to worry about whatever. So create a new Facebook page. And the next thing is create a Facebook account. If you already have one, you can immediately connect it and start running ads. So with that, immediately you will find out whether you are being restricted or not to run ads on Facebook. If you're not, which is most of the case, great. That's how you start advertising right away. But if you are restricted, which means chances are your personal profile is being restricted. Now, it is possible because, at one point of time, Meta was, in fact, up to now, Meta is still very, very into trying to validate, those people who run ads on Facebook to whether they are real human or not. So what they will always do is they will restrict your Facebook ads account, and then they will ask you to submit your ID, which after you do that, usually everything will go back to normal and you'll be able to run ads pretty seamlessly right after that. But I've seen cases where you miss the deadline because when they send you notification, which is very indirect, it doesn't go into your Facebook, it goes into your email, and it goes to the email that you use to sign up for Facebook, which a lot of people don't use it. So that's the thing. So when they send you email about restriction and require ID verification, if you miss the deadline, it's gone. The profile is gone. So in this case, I would say you'll have to go to the route, which is to create a new profile all over again. Well, this happens. But having said that, doesn't mean that you need to kill your old profile. You can just keep it there because you probably have a lot of friends in there and stuff like that. So that's for your personal, but you create a new profile mainly for advertising. So create a new profile, create a Facebook page, create an ad account, and start running ads right away. And at one point, Meta will still come back and say, hey, we need you to validate. Make sure the email that you use to sign up for that profile is something that you have access to on a daily basis. Otherwise, you will probably miss the deadline and everything is going to be jeopardized again. So yeah, so that's how you get started again in terms of running ads. Excuse me. But of course, when you want to run ads, you want to get familiarized with the latest Meta Ads Manager, the Meta Ads Business Portfolio, and stuff like that, just in case you need help, right? You can always, I've got Meta Ads, Meta advertising courses available on my website. You can actually go to my website. Otherwise, if you want to work one-on-one, a lot of people just sign up for a one-on-one, 30 minutes or 60 minutes, whether you want to just quickly understand certain part of a Meta Ads Manager so that you have your questions answered before you start running ads, or you want me to navigate with you on how to go through certain restrictions that you have, or even you want me to navigate your Meta Ads Manager to help you unearth your, whatever things that you have done right or wrong in your campaign so that you know what to do next and how to optimize it. All these are the things that we can do in the one-on-one Meta Ads support. Scan this QR code. It will take you to my booking link where you can book a 30-minute or 60-minute Zoom call with me and pay for it. And eventually we can have a you and I one-on-one session to go through anything related to Meta advertising and digital marketing. And I look forward to work with you. All right. So now the next question. I love this question a lot. I was navigating, I was working with a new client. It was a new client where he booked the first one-on-one 30 minutes with me. His question was very straightforward. He came in and said, Jason, how do I identify a performing campaign? Now, there is no one answer that fits all in this, but the most straightforward answer or question that I have for you to really answer this question is, first, are you satisfied with the cost per result? Meaning, say, for example, if you're running an e-commerce business, all right, if you're actually getting one purchase at $20 per se, which is your cost per result, is $20 on average. So my first question is, are you happy with this? So how do you know whether you're happy with this? It's very straightforward, which is whether are you making money out of it? You know your P&L, you know your profit margin. So you must know at which point you are profitable. Or even if you're not profitable, I always like to advocate, especially when it comes to e-commerce. If you're selling something that is, possible for repeat sales, we usually okay with break even, at the first purchase. Yeah, because as they buy again and again, that's how you make money out of it. But of course, if you can make a profit out of the first purchase, that would be great. So you know that, all right? So first question is, are you comfortable with your cost per result? If you are, then yes, it's a performing campaign. Now, then we will need to dive in further to see what is performing, which is the next question that we need to answer over here. So what is performing? Now, let me give you a few quick metrics to look into. You can actually go into your Meta Ads Manager on the desktop version, please. Don't go into the mobile version, the mobile app, which is very, very, very tricky and limited. And you won't be able to navigate a lot of stuff. So go into your Meta Ads Manager on the desktop version. And then first thing first, actually draw a few key metrics to look into. First, we have CTR, link click-through rate. Now, the CTR link click-through rate is the percentage of people who click on your call to action button or any link that is available in your primary text to go to the next step. So yeah, so CTR link click-through rate, our benchmark is 1%. So if you are 1% and above, great. But if you are 0.5%, for example, yet you are happy with the result. I'm just talking about a prerequisite just now, right? So if you're at 0.5%, okay, CTR, link click-through rate, and your ROAS is good, which is your cost per result is satisfactory, that means if you are able to optimize, because CTR is actually the easiest way for us to identify whether the ad creative is working or not. You know what I mean? So the ad creative is really something that we want to, that's the first thing, right? So imagine now you are at 0.5% and you're profitable. Imagine if you're able to bump this to 0.75%. That means with the same amount that you're spending, you can potentially get 50%, 50, more link clicks, right? More link clicks. It doesn't mean that you reach more people, but you get more link clicks. Do you think that you can potentially get 50% more add to cart? 50% more purchase? Maybe. All right. That's actually the easiest way for us to look into your optimization. Now, that's the CTR, which is the creative part. Now, the other one is the CPM. Now, CPM, there is no benchmark, but we always use our past campaign to look at it. Like, let's say if you compare to your past campaign and you realize that your CPM is high. CPM is cost per thousand impression. Essentially, that's the real cost when you're running ads on Meta. That's what you pay. You pay every 1,000 times Meta shows your ads to your audience. So if your CPM is high, that means it's expensive to reach your audience if you compare to the past. So what can you do to reduce your CPM? It's either first you can try to go more Advantage Plus as possible, or you can actually kind of like widen your audience targeting to go broad, etc. But of course, there are many factors that affects the CPM. It could be the objective that you're selecting. It could be the optimization. It could be the audience targeting. Many reasons. But then again, you can actually try to navigate on these few things. So if you imagine you can bring down the CPM, that means with the same amount that you're spending, you can potentially reach more people, which is definitely beneficial for your campaign. All right. And of course, moving down the road, we can actually look at a lot more other things like conversion from link click to landing page view, which ideally we want it to be at least 50%. Because yeah, that's really an identifier to see whether your website is loading fast enough or not. Because not every link click lands on your website. It actually affects, usually affected by the loading time. And of course, after they land, how many percent of them added to cart, how many percent of them initiated checkout, how many percent of them purchase. These are all the things that we can actually look into to find optimization opportunities. So back to the question, how do we identify a performing campaign, which is the first thing first, you must be happy with your cost per result. That's easiest ways. But then again, even a performing campaign, what I wanted to highlight here is there could be a lot of optimization opportunities lie within the entire customer journey that we can actually find ways to optimize, which means your campaign can potentially make you more money without you spending more money. How does this sound? So if you need help navigating this thing and find out how can you take your performing campaign to the next level, I would recommend that you scan this QR code and book a one-on-one Zoom session with me. So this you can choose. I think you can immediately start with the 30 minutes. Don't need to go for the 60 minutes. So you and I can spend 30 minutes over a Zoom call, and we will first build a dashboard, which is all the metrics that you need to track for your campaign, because it's different from one objective or one industry to another. And then with that, we will analyze the metrics together. I would guide you on how to identify whether this is doing good or not. And with that, as we analyze, we're able to build a plan. And that is your optimization plan on how you can take your campaign to the next level. It's fun, right? Trust me. So it's totally worth it. Scan this QR code and get ready to take your campaign to the next level. And I look forward to work with you. All right. So now back to the next question. I have got a client ask me this question, which immediately I did a lookup and I realized it's actually very straightforward. But of course, there are certain things you need to know about applying for Shopee CPaaS. But of course, CPaaS is very useful, especially if you have a Shopee store. Shopee is, it's still very popular in our part of the world, like Malaysia, Indonesia. Some of my clients was trying to stay away a bit from it because the fee that they are taking is high, but you can't really do much right now as the consumer behavior are very much stick to it. So yeah, it's actually the easiest way to start selling on in Malaysia and Indonesia and certain countries like that, even Thailand. But this is really something that you have to look for. Now, the reason why you want to have CPaaS is because you're able to, with this, only with CPaaS, you're able to retarget those people who have visited your Shopee store but yet to purchase, which is very important because if you don't have CPaaS, when you drive people to your Shopee store, you are potentially sending the audience to your competitors. Of course, everybody can just, arrange, so-called appear alongside you, and Shopee would actually optimize and showcase other people who sell the same thing as yours. So potentially you are sending people to your competitors. But having said that, with the CPaaS, you're able to effectively identify. I'm not saying that you are able to know who they are, but you're able to follow these people who have visited your store, added to cart, initiated checkout, but yet to purchase, and come back to them and again to convince them to buy from you. It actually, yeah, that's the most essential usage of it. But of course, there are a lot more different features inside CPass. So I strongly recommend that you get CPass if you're selling on Shopee or Lazada. But I don't know about Lazada, but Shopee is rather straightforward. So all you need to do is just go to Shopee. Go to Google and look for Shopee CPass. And immediately the first link here says Facebook CPass ads for sellers is the answer. But of course, if you need more help, I've got a lot of videos that talks about Shopee CPass, how to do this and that, right? So you can just go through any one of them to answer your questions. So once you go in here, this is how you get started. So basically, all you need to do is you scroll down and look for this link. There is a CPass submission form that you can actually, just go through the steps, sign up the form, which is now in this new form right now, and fill out this form. And I think Shopee will come back to you within a week or two, so that you can immediately get started. But there are a few things you need to know before you want to do your CPass. So first thing first, in order to optimize your CPass experience, you need to have a business portfolio, because a lot of people are still running ads with their own personal Facebook ads account, but get a business portfolio. So all you need to do is you can actually go to, this is what we call the business.facebook.com. This is where you start creating a business portfolio. All right. So that's where you get started, business portfolio. And then in there, I think, yeah, business.facebook.com/settings, something like that. I was looking at it. All right. Yeah. So I have multiple business portfolio, but then again, this is where you can actually create one, go to the steps and create that one, and you have a business portfolio. And eventually that's how you get started. Now, second thing you need here is you need to have a new Facebook ads account that is solely for CPass purpose. So Meta would actually ask you to Shopee will ask you to add them as a partner in your Meta ads, account. So you go through this link, you'll be able to know some of the important things that how to become, like, this is Shopee's business manager ID. Okay, you just need to give, first you need to create an ad account, and then you give Shopee view insights access to, first add them through your as a partner, and then give them the access to your ad account, and they'll be able to connect everything to you. So yeah, that's the easiest way to get started. But of course, go through all the documentation is pretty straightforward. But having said that, getting CPass is actually the first step. How do you run ads for CPass is actually the most important thing. So essentially, the framework is very straightforward. I would always recommend to spend 80% at the top of funnel, meaning you spend 80% in acquiring new audiences and 20% in retargeting. That's essential. But having said that, when you are running ads on Shopee, there is a different structure when it comes to the top of funnel campaign. I would say you need to experiment to see whether it is more effective to get new audience or new customers through Meta advertising or through Shopee advertisement. I've got a client. Most of the time Meta ads works really well in terms of acquiring new customers. But if your business is intent-based, meaning people will actually search for it when they are looking for you, they will search for it on Google, they will search for it on Facebook, they will search for it, on Shopee, it is actually advisable to experiment with Shopee ads, because Shopee will definitely connect you with people who are looking for you. And even though you say that, oh, what about Google? Don't worry about that. Don't need to run ads on Google, because Shopee will do that. You get what I mean? Yeah. Shopee will run ads to advertise. And if you are running Shopee ads, meaning when they bring in, you'll be ranked higher, which you get the traffic anyway. So that's how you do it. So yeah, you need to navigate, you need to experiment to see. Yeah, so some of my clients spend maybe 50% of their 80% top of funnel budget on Shopee, and remaining 40% on, like Meta ads and stuff like that. So you just navigate. Yeah, and when it comes to retargeting, I usually recommend to start with a 7 days retargeting, and you watch the effectiveness, and you watch the the conversion rate and the frequency. And rarely we need to extend to 14 days, but those are the things usually what we would what do we call the point of consideration would be, the question is how long people need to consider whether to buy from you or someone else. So that's how you do it. Yeah. Just in case you need help, I do help businesses navigate problems that you have, challenges that you are facing, or even to set up a Meta ads campaign. So you can scan this QR code and book a one-on-one Zoom call. 30 minutes is good enough for us to probably look into your campaign and see what's going right or wrong in your campaign and how can we actually do it better. Or if you're new to Meta Ads, CPAS campaign, if you need help navigating how to set up quickly, well, 30 minutes may not be sufficient. In that case, you can actually go for 60 minutes. We can actually spend 60 minutes together and I would guide you on how to set up the campaign, at least for the first time, so that you can actually do this on your own in the future moving forward. So yeah, if you need help, scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you. All right, that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you so much. Well, I always enjoy my Sunday live because this is where I chill and answer questions to help my community and stuff. So yeah, you know where to find me if you need help when it comes to meta advertising and digital marketing. With that, thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome week ahead, and I'll see you next week. Good night.